Beavo is someone we probably all know at this point. He got famous on TikTok for swallowing a roast potato whole and has since become a premier celebrity in the UK, doing nightclub appearances where he like raps and stuff. But the other day he went on the infamous Whatever podcast, which is one of those podcasts that has like 25 guests at the same time sat around a table having some of the worst conversations ever had by the human population. Like, just look at the thumbnails they use for their podcast. That should tell you a lot about it. And he embarrassed himself massively by talking basically the entire time about the fact he lets other men sleep with his girlfriends.
All right, so open relationship. So what does that look like for you guys since you're in an open relationship?
Just sex galore.
Thanks, Brandon. I really wanted the image of you having sex galore etched into my mind.
She brings me friends, I'll bring her friends.
Could you have said that any creepier? Was how have you just gone on a podcast and gone, yeah, I bring her friends? Like, brother, to each to their own and all that. It's not for me. But you've gone on a big podcast and basically gone, yeah, I bring the boys round to shag my missus. You are going to get so severely bullied online for that.
Wait, so your male friends will...
Yeah.
What's the term? Shag?
Yeah,
Like
shag, yeah.
shag,
A lot of
shag?
shagging.
I'm uncomfortable just watching this from a distance. I don't know how the others in the room are just sitting and smiling at this. Perhaps they're just used to degenerates coming on this podcast and with Chess talking about how they got their mates round to shag their girlfriend.
So she kind of convinced you to make it open.
Not really, she just made me open my eyes and live life a bit, you know, and it's just, again, I don't want to live that boring life. I don't want to have to get up at silly o'clock in the morning and get home at silly o'clock of the night for basic money. I want to live.
Mate, what does this have to do with the question he asked? He asked, so did she push you into this open relationship? And he went, no, I don't really want a job. Like, I like making money on the, I don't really want a job. What are you talking about, Brandon?
Do you want to know how big my cock is as well?
That's kind of a out-of-the-pocket
No,
weird
God.
question. No, not really.
Is this like an FPL forfeit or something? Why is he doing this? This is so embarrassing. How has he gone from swallowing potato whole to podcast humiliation ritual in a matter of months?
She looks after me, yeah.
So you're the breadwinner?
Yeah.
I make bread, I still do well on TikTok.
No, yeah.
I still make money.
You've got your own.
I still make money. I'm not just a broke bitch. I'm not her slave, do you know what I mean? But I still do, well, I still do 5 figures a month.
How much?
I do 5 figures a month still.
Something I've noticed about him is he's absolutely obsessed with telling people how much he makes. Why? Like when the guy asked if his girlfriend is the breadwinner, he went on the defensive like, no, I still make bread, I still make 5 figures a month. Cool, man. No one cares.
What kind of content do you do on social media?
I do eating content.
I mean, calling it content would be a bit of a stretch, let's be real here, man. Okay, I feel like I'm coming across really harsh here. I think Beavo is really funny, and I'm glad he is the face of British TikTok to people over in America. But bloody, he does have a real knack for coming across insufferable, doesn't he?
Yeah, but men have to be successful to date, I think. Like,
Yeah.
again, it's a Scarface saying, get the money, then get the women.
Yeah, getting advice from the movie Scarface, which is basically about an embarrassing man-child, is advice to live your life by. Also, that statement just isn't true. I feel as though Beavo has been so clout-pilled that he believes women only go for men who make big money and eat potatoes funny on TikTok or something.
If you are a bum and you're sitting at home doing nothing and got
Yeah,
nothing
like,
in the
who
bank,
wants that?
like, why are you
Who wants
dating?
that?
Like,
It's giving
sort,
broke.
like, sort yourself
giving
out.
broke
you know?
boy.
This is actually the worst podcast I've ever had to sit through in my life. Fucking hell, who watches this shit? But this guy shows up on the table like halfway through and basically just proceeds to bully Beavo for the rest of the time. You're not sat with the 10 other guests around the table. You shouldn't have a say. Go on, get in the studio, squeeze in next to Beavo.
You are a cuck.
Define a cuck, please.
A cuck is a person who purposely allows their women to get by other men.
For money, yeah.
Yeah, if it's for money, then it makes it less humiliating to admit publicly on a podcast. If anything, being like, yeah, it's for money makes it even worse. As I said, I don't have an issue with this. I don't really care what people do behind closed doors as long as it's not, like, hurting anyone. But it is really funny. I just think it's really brave to go on this, like, trash podcast, especially if you're Beavo from Potato TikTok, and go, yeah, I let my girlfriend get around in front of me, and what?
You wouldn't let her sleep with other men if they weren't paying her?
No, they're not paying her. Let's get that right. We make content. We get paid for content. So, yes, we involve other people because it makes more money. And again, That's why I allow it.
Okay, yeah, I think this is good. Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. The more the merrier. The more the merrier. The more people that get involved, the more money we make. Yeah.
Yeah, if I'm a cuck, I'm a cuck. Yeah.
I don't think Andrew's trying to insult you. I think he's
No,
just
no,
not.
it
I'm
is
just
what
trying
it
to
is.
clarify.
He most definitely is, and he shouldn't shy away from it. Like it's obvious he's trying to mock him. And if you go on a podcast and utter the words "Yeah, I'm a cuck," you should expect to be mocked.
We're young. We're probably in a better position than you was when you was 23. Again, no throwing shade, but I just don't feel like being a slave to a religion is going to get you anywhere in life.
What are you on about now? Beavo is now coming across as absolutely insufferable. Like, this conversation is just, it's just brain rot. You've got this guy going, you're a cuck, and you've got Beavo going, well, I make loads of money and your religion is stupid. These podcasts are like 7 hours long. Who watches this?
The poorest man on planet Earth who has a virtuous wife who is loyal to him is always going to consider himself richer than any amount of money that you give yourself based on the fact that you let other men bone your chick. You understand that, right?
Yeah, but again, you're saying poorer, but again, if I'm making money and we enjoy it, what is the problem?
You know what? Shoot me. I'm kind of with Beavo on this one. Like, I don't know why this bloke cares so much about this. Do you really think if Brandon Beavis didn't let this happen that people would see him as like a pillar of the community or something? Basically, his whole career is making videos eating food funny. Like, this is not the person to bother trying to give lessons on virtues or whatever to. And you know what? If he wants to do that, then fair play. Let the boy enjoy himself. It is very funny though. And I'm sure he knows that, and I'm sure he knows people are gonna make fun of him. Like, nobody has ever said anything like this on the internet and thought, yeah, people are gonna think I'm really cool after this.
Again, I'm a Gen Z and you're old-fashioned. Again, I've probably made more money than you was when you were
yeah, it's
younger.
real old
So.
The thing is, if he wasn't being so insufferable, he'd probably come across like okay here, all things considered. But he constantly brings it back round to money and clout and stupid, irrelevant topics. I understand this is probably a frustrating spot to be in, and you're probably just throwing what you can at the argument. But like, what did you expect when you went on one of the most infamous podcasts and spoke about your open relationship? Like, no good was going to come from that.
Little Johnny's going to be in the schoolyard, and dude's going to walk over. Kid's going to walk over. He's going to be like, "Look, your dad's a fucking cuck, Johnny." And you're going to be like, "Yeah, that's true. I did allow other men on purpose to your mother, Johnny, but that's because I'm a real man.
Little
I
Johnny
care about money."
Little Johnny began private school and wouldn't have to worry about money.
Yeah, this is just decimation here. This isn't fair. Like, the only argument he's making back is, well, yeah, we make money. We make money. This has nothing to do with what he's saying. He's like, yeah, we make money. The kid will be going to private. What? Well, kids can't get bullied at private school?
Do you have a job?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, you're a slave to money like me.
That's a slave?
Yeah.
I mean, it's not. Being paid fairly for work and being free to leave is quite literally the opposite of slavery.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah. I have a job.
Yeah,
Shagging.
Okay, that was cold, to be fair. Yeah, my occupation, shagging, doing the deed for money. Cold. I like it, Brandon.
Yes, if you want a good lifestyle
Yes.
and you don't let other people f*** your missus, you're missing out.
Nah, I think I'm all right. Cheers for the heads up, though.
The revaluationary war losers go like this. Cut, cut, cook, cut, 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 cook, cut, 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 cook, cut, cut, cook.
All I hear is
Flex the Rolex real quick.
money, 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 money.
Okay, a couple of things to unpack here. First of all, who is giving $200 to this podcast? You should not have access to money if you're spending it like this. And secondly, I take back what I said earlier about me being happy with him being the face of British TikTok in the States, because this is just straight up embarrassing. He's been on so many American podcasts. He's basically an ambassador for us at this point. And he was actually really funny and witty on the TMG podcast, but my days, this is painful. I can't believe my eyes. British sex icon Beavo is falling apart at the seams. Now, Beavo has responded to the hate from this podcast in the form of a TikTok, so let's give it a watch and see what he has to say.
Beavo here. I just wanted to come on here and basically clear up this whole whatever podcast. I didn't expect to get this much stick.
What? You didn't expect to get this much stick when you went on a podcast, said you let your girlfriend sleep with other men, and then proceeded to flex the whole rest of the time? Really? Is this like your first day on the internet?
I was basically told what to say, basically for their financial gain, which has made me look a complete mug on the internet now.
Of course, mate, yeah. Also, if this was true, and for the rest of the video, let's just give him the benefit of the doubt. When you were doing this, did you not think you were mugging yourself off? Like, you didn't have to do this. You have free will. You could have probably just, I mean, I wasn't there, but like, you could have probably just gone, oh no, I don't feel comfortable doing that, or just not gone on the podcast.
Brian comes up to me and says, look, we need to spice some things up. Basically say that you two are in an open relationship, and basically she sees other guys and you see other girls.
Yeah, but you were speaking with such conviction. And I know I said I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, but I've never seen someone speak like that about something that was just made up for the benefit of a random podcast you're not benefiting from in any way. If anything, this whole thing is detrimental to you, and it's obvious that it would be detrimental from the outset. If I went on a podcast and before the show I was approached and told to do something like this, I'd be like, nah, mate, what the fuck? Why are you trying to get me to do this? Or if I did it, it would be very obvious it was a bit and I'd drop it after a few minutes. But Beavo was on this podcast for 5.5 hours, and to my knowledge he kept it up for the entire time except right at the end where he said it was a troll. Now I'm not going to show that clip because he uses it to promote an OnlyFans and I don't really want to promote stuff like that, but he kept it up for 5.5 hours. That is incredible dedication to the bit.
I do want to clarify, me and Sophia are in a close, healthy, happy relationship.
All right, fair enough. I just don't know why you said you weren't and thought it would go down well on the internet.
I feel violated, I'm not going to lie, because it feels like, from me, I look like a devalued man.
Yeah, nobody made you do that shit, man. You violated yourself here. No one held you at gunpoint and forced you to say all this stuff for 5.5 hours.
Again, I don't advise going on a whatever podcast because they do set you up. We've promised to get our Instagrams promoted and paid. We're supposed to get paid $150, which we didn't.
You did all this for $150. You sat on a podcast in front of hundreds of thousands of people and now millions of people from clips on TikTok and stuff. You did that for 5.5 hours for $150. And I'm guessing that's between you and your girlfriend, so like 75 for you. Brandon, I'm disappointed. You're not the money chaser I thought you were. That's like £10 an hour to be humiliated in front of millions.
Which I don't care about the money, but it's the fact that we went on there for promotion. We give you content for promotion.
And you got that. They may not have linked your Instas, but your name is around your neck, mate. I don't think people are going to have a hard time finding you.
I feel like we've been used for financial gain because the amount of TTSs they got.
No. The Whatever podcast would never do that. They had you on out of the kindness of their heart. Of course they had you on for financial gain. Wasn't that, like, abundantly obvious? I'm curious as to what point he figured this out. Like, when did the penny drop that they were using him for content to make money off? But yeah, that's that. Like and subscribe.